Yes, Eddsworld ended in March 2016 and now we are in 1956, 60 years before Eddsworld ended, and Albert Me will talk about how Eddsworld ended. In 2015, Paul Tervoord will not animated Eddsworld in 2015, and in 2015 the episodes are Mirror Mirror and Trick or Treat and Christmas Adventure. Mirror Mirror is an episode of Eddsworld Legacy that was released on August 28, 2015. It was animated by Sandra Rivas. And Mirror is about Ed, Matt and Tomas Genderbender Verisons, and their names are Matilda, Elle and Tamara. In 2015, Trick or Threat is an Eddsworld Halloween short, animated by Brendan Wazalter Turner, and released on October 23, 2015. This episode was made entirely in secret, until it was revealed on Eddsworld's official Twitter page. It features an original song sung by Todd Bryanton. And it is about a girl make Matt possessed and Matt possessed Ed. Christmas Adventure is an Eddsworld Legacy animation, animated by Brendan Wazalter Turner, and was uploaded to YouTube on December 18, 2015. It was announced during the Eddsworld Legacy update video, and this is the second episode that Brendan animated, while the first is Trick or Threat. Saloonatics is an Eddsworld Legacy animation. It was uploaded to YouTube on February 12, 2016. The story follows Ed and Tom in a western setting trying to save Matt from bandits. It was written by Thomas Ridgewell and Eddie Boley and animated by Studio Cacti. Ed, Matt and Tom are caught in the rain, and Ed suggests that they go inside a nearby museum for shelter. After a brief encounter with a cowboy, who prizes his ass donkey, Gold decides to go to the Aged place to start saloon. After asking the bartender for a beer, Gold explains that he is sent to look for Prince Matthew, a member of the British royal family who has gone missing. The end is the two-part finale of Eddsworld Legacy. It is currently the most recent episode, and the second, third and last episodes released in 2016. The plot is the gang are driving home from having gone fishing. A fish in Matt's fish tank has been eaten by Sir Swimsuit, but then dies as the smaller fish puffs up. Matt says that Sir Swimsuit exploded, and asks the gang to go fishing. The screen flashes back to the gang fishing and Tom shooting a harpoon gun at a whale. In the car, Ed complains about how Tom sold the sofa to buy the harpoon gun, but Tom simply states that he'll harpoon them a new one. Once home, Tom is seen carrying harpoons to a nearby room singing "Harpoons, harpoons, they're better than spoons." But before he can enter, he sees a silhouetted figure, Tam. The end. Part 2 is a final episode ever. Tom is now homeless and attempts to find a new house to rent. He checks out several houses before eventually giving up and deciding to live in a cardboard box. Meanwhile, Ed, Matt and Tord are watching the film mentioned in the previous episode. Ed ponders over what happened to Tom, but Tord is quick to change the subject. Tom meets a homeless man. Tom is now homeless and attempts to find a new house to rent. He checks out several houses before eventually giving up and deciding to live in a cardboard box. Meanwhile, Ed, Matt and Tord are watching the film mentioned in the previous episode. Ed ponders over what happened to Tom, but Tord is quick to change the subject. Tom meets a homeless man. Tord sneaks away from Ed and Matt and into Tom's old room. He flips a lever hidden behind a portrait of himself, revealing a hidden room filled with advanced technology and weaponry. He goes to press a large button in the center of the room. However, before he can, Ed interrupts him. He attempts to convince Ed the room is merely a laundry room, but Ed runs past and begins pressing buttons. But then turns to press another red button, dropping him into the cockpit of a robot, modeled after himself. Tom goes to a real estate developer, and uses all of his money to buy a house, surprising the man in the office with his large sum of money. Tom is leaving the real estate building, when he spies a wanted poster on the wall. He runs back to the house, with Ed and Matt deciding to follow. When Tom gets to the house, the robot is confronted by Eduardo, before it launches a rocket at Eduardo's home. Ed and Matt return and question Tord on his actions, and Tord reveals he was merely using them to get his giant robot back. Tom attempts to throw one of Tord's chairs to defeat him, shouting "Take a seat." As he throws it, Tord launches a missile in response, destroying the house. Tord launches a missile in response, destroying the house. Ed and Matt are horrified by the rubble of the house, before seeing a body resembling Tom's in a crater. Tord begins flying away, but is halted when the robot begins punching itself. He looks down to see Matt at the control panel, pushing buttons, causing the robot to attack itself. Ed joins in, before they are interrupted by Eduardo. Suddenly, Tom pulls himself out of the wreckage of the house with his harpoon gun, and fires at Tord, damaging the robot and causing it to crash on a nearby cliff. Tord is soon discovered in the wreckage by two men. He stands on the hillside looking down at the house before finally leaving. Ed, Tom and Matt sit down in Ed's apartment to watch Insane Zombie Pirates from Hell 5, as Ed asks Tom why his eyes are black. However, before Tom can answer, he eats a mouthful of popcorn, causing him to mumble his response as the camera slowly pans out, and the front door closes on Ed's apartment. After the credits, the sinister guy finishes telling three children the story of Eddsworld. Thank you to watching. Goodbye and see you at part 4 coming soon.